Welcome to this video called Jerry here. Welcome. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to do it this way, which is a bummer for me. I wanted to do one of my usual videos that I go live and share my screen and teach you something new this week. But as far as this annoying Facebook situation, they always like try to upgrade, seemingly to make things easier for everybody. But I think they only make stuff easier for themselves. And I guess they try to put anybody else out of business. All the third party app, whatever, they try to protect people from, from streaming inside a group and kind of like sharing stuff. So there are ways that we can do it, but then it requires me to upgrade to a crazy amount of the third party app, which makes no sense. But this is basically what we're gonna do. I am gonna teach you today something in regard to applying the nutrition protocols for ladies over 40, or better say for pretty much everybody, as long as you need it. Yet I see that no matter if you're over 40 or under 40 or over 50, the issue is the same. You pretty much don't know exactly what to do, even though when you're given some sort of a nutrition or a diet, then you just do it for a certain period of time because you don't seem to be able to apply the logic behind it, right? So we're gonna talk about logic today. We're gonna talk about um, how to make nutrition really applicable to everyday life. And if you like this kind of thing, because obviously I'm gonna post this replay and I'm gonna tag everybody and I'm gonna send this an email and post it on YouTube and stuff of this nature. If you like this setup, I'm gonna ask you to come, aside from the other thing, I'm gonna ask you to comment, which you're gonna comment replay right now. You're probably gonna have to also let me know if you have any question, of course, but you also let me know if you like this setup, because if you do, what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna basically make this almost like an appointment, and I'm gonna make it like when we make an event inside the Facebook thing. And then basically I'm gonna send a link to Zoom. Pretty much like when we have our mindset calls and we gonna do this thing, it's gonna have, of course, less time than that, but at least it's gonna give you um some context if you wanna come in and come in live. So today we're gonna talk about nutrition, but I'm gonna give you some easy to apply framework if you are a busy lady. That the thing that I see all over the board when people don't get to achieve results or keep results, especially sometimes they achieve results, 6 out of 7 people will achieve results, but maybe like 1 out of 7 will keep it. And this is kind of problematic because obviously it tells me that there is not a problem on doing a diet for a while. There is a problem on maintaining that lifestyle. So anything that is not sustainable in life then is an issue, right? And so that's why I talked about not so long ago something that I wanted to do. It was a beta test inside, whether you're a client or a non-client, and you want to come into this beta test inside our current course. And obviously, you're going to be requested to put down a deposit about €200 for the length of the transformation. That if you're a person that gets stuff done really quickly, you can do in 2 months. If you take a little bit longer, you can stay up to maybe 3, 4 months. The thing is that you're gonna have to go through the whole course, and you're gonna have to apply stuff, much like I'm gonna show you how to apply inside this video. Reason being, because again, that's totally unrelated whether you're an active client or a prospect, is because if you want to one day have this system on you, like get a course, we need to make a course that is actually easy to unfold, easy to consume, applicable in real life. And obviously, the thing is that I think I put together quite good information. Yet, when I go back and watch it, I always need to kind of like improve stuff, right? So let's start from now the first part of the website. And again, when I say the first, is because if you were to get today just the website portion of the program, and if you are a client, obviously you already have this, you will get this website over here, which is basically the foundation. Why did I want to make it this way? It's because I wanted to make sure that you consume most of the content. On my hand, I can see the percentage of content consumed. And then when you get, it's like more like a game. When you get until the end, I will open up the full version of the website. And as you see here, it might seem the same, but it's actually a lot longer because there is phase one, phase two, phase three. Our system is simple. If you're a lady over 40 and can no longer lose weight, chances are your metabolism isn't ready to lose weight. So chances are you're in phase one. And this thing teaches you going from all these symptoms that sometimes you have, like high cravings, low energy, cannot sleep well, moody. Some of you have perimenopause or menopause. Those symptoms, between these symptoms, which is just signs and symptoms, to the insulin resistant thing when you have thyroid issue, insulin resistance, something showing up on a lab, there is a huge gray area. Over here is just symptoms, over here is disease, and there is this gray area which chances are you're in somewhere in here, right? And when you diet for a while, let's say you're healthy before, you might go back into this area over here, right? So it's like it's important to kind of like establish how you are. I can tell you that if you need to get ready to lose weight, chances are it can take from 7 days to maybe six. At the worst case scenario, I saw maybe 4 months, then you lose weight effectively and you build the muscle, right? And that is very that's very easy to account, meaning like it's easy for us to tell you what that is gonna be because it's like it's basically science. If you go a little bit more aggressive, 10 kilo can be done in 4 months to 5 months. If you go a little bit more, slower, it takes maybe 8 months. And it's not always up to you to decide, it's up to your body, but chances are it's very predictable. And this is why, again, it's not only about losing the weight, it's about changing body composition, losing the fat. So basically, what's going to happen in this thing that I'm thinking is like you're going to come and beta test if you want to take part of it. And basically, it's going to be a process of a group I'm going to take probably around maybe after the summer. And we're gonna go through these things over here, or maybe we're gonna start before. I'm gonna see when to launch it, but it's something I wanna get everybody to that really care about getting results and about learning how to apply something to apply it. Okay. And today I'm starting from to the basics and I'm going and I'm saying like most people, when you work with us, like you have an onboarding call with me right now. One day it's gonna be one of my coaches probably is gonna have to do the onboarding. And we're not gonna sit down based on what you're telling me, my expertise, I can tell you, you're gonna need this or this or this. You're ready to lose weight, this or this, right? So let's pretend that we calculate your metabolism and it's now your total daily need of calorie is now 2000 calories. You wanna lose weight, you know that I'm gonna tell you, let's put some habits in place. You're gonna walk a little bit more. If you already walk a lot, maybe you're gonna end up a little bit jogging. You're gonna work a little bit, a couple of times a week, maybe on the gym. And that already established you for you to be able to burn maybe 200 calorie extra in a day. Then we're going to establish a calorie cut, maybe like 16, 1700 calories, right? And then, and again, this is just not a calculation, but more so it's like, it's not like for everybody it's like this, but I can tell you that most of the time, if you balancing stuff right, that's basically what it takes. It's not about, everybody wants to pretend there is something more superior of just really doing the work, cutting the calories, watching what you eat better, watching a little bit the quality of the food, walking a little bit more, relaxing a little bit more, like, sleeping better. Everybody wants to pretend that it's this magic portion, formula, like, oh, if you do keto, but if you just cut off everything else than eggs and meat, you're going to be fine. If you're just, and it is not like that. I know that would be sexy if it was that way, but it's not. It's just like, very analytical work that you have to do. And the problem is that whether it's a diet, a keto diet or intermittent fasting or whatever, or is a scientific choice that you actually make, it's always going to come down to you doing the right things, the things that you're supposed to do, knowing that you do those things, applying that to everyday life for a very chronic time, meaning like for a very long period of time, not just for a week, but for long. So if you're a person that doesn't like to count anything, and chances are if you work with us, we give you some sort of meal plan or recipes or something, right? And this is the protocol. If you're a person that likes to do everything yourself, you can just go and kind of like track your food with some applications and we would have that technology for that. But today we're going to talk about for the people that don't have time, the busy people, right? So one thing that you want to start doing is really understanding that if you eat 1500, 1600, let's pretend you need to eat 1800 calories, right? And you have three meals for 500 calories, and then you have one snack. And this is simple. It's like, so you take, if you're a person that you need a lot of food, you would start by building your plate, which is basically level one. Most of the time, vegetable, protein, and fat, and then when you work out with some carbohydrates, right? So they basically it's simple. It's like you just choose. If you're a person that need a lot of food, chances are you're gonna do very much better with 100 calorie of celery or something like this versus and watermelon. For example, like that's 200 calorie, and then you get 1 or 200 calorie of protein at your choice. And again, if you need a lot of food, chances are chicken is going to be much better than just an egg, right? For the same amount of calories. And then you're going to get like a little bit of an extra fat or whatever if you want, right? You can also keep that. If you're a person that doesn't like to do that and you just say, I really have no time, I don't want to think about it. There is this section that is like meal prepping food, right? You understand that the difference between losing weight and gaining weight, it's really only the size, right? And you can see the difference here. Over here, you get a lot more vegetable. You get one extra less protein in here. So actually, this is sweet potato. I thought it was chicken, no, sweet potato. So you get an extra one serving less of carb, and then you get pretty much the same size or maybe a little more serving of protein. Like this 200 calorie difference. This is gonna add up, right? We also have 60-gram carbohydrate versus 20 grams, and then we have protein is also more over here. If you wanted to gain weight, that's a possibility, but that's not necessary. But if you want to lose weight, chances are you want to highball something like this. And think about this, right? It's like 300, 400 calorie here, 400 calorie here, right? 400 calorie here, and 400 over here. And we have 1200 calories, right? And again, if you are interested on just getting the website, if you click here, you got a bunch of videos that shows you how to prepare this stuff. And right now, this only this if you're not a client, this system right now this website is available for you for $97, right? If you were to buy this thing and say, I cannot join your program, I want to learn, I want to do stuff my own. Over here, you have the chance to do it. So if you were interested, that's the way. But again, here I can like the truth is that even when you get the information, you need to be able to apply it, right? So if you watch this video and then you're like, okay, at 1200 calorie, I still have 500 calorie. What should I really eat? Now, in a nutshell, doesn't really matter. But if you were to work out, chances are putting inside a couple of, you know, fruits or starches or a bar, it would be a good idea, right? So then how do you choose? Well, simple, up to your logistics, right? Up to your environment and up to your preference. So if you're a person like yesterday night, I needed something like, for example, like this, right? This, and not, by the way, not nobody's really paying me. It's not advertising anything. This is like 50 calories. Look at that. It's like you buy this thing in Italy, right? 50 calorie is like it's like a blended peach, pear, and apple, right? It's like a apple sauce. That thing is full of fiber. It's gonna be the best thing for the buck. If you were still hungry, you can have stuff like this, right? Like this protein bar. I love this protein bar. It's a vegan protein bar. Not that I care about vegan. You know me, I don't really like anything about vegan, vegetarian, or anything like keto. I don't propose. I'm not a proponent of any of those things, but just logic. If you look at behind, it's simple, and you find this thing I don't know in Switzerland for sure. Per bar, you have 200 calories, 8 grams of fat, 12 gram of carb, which is not sugar, which is, I don't know what they put in there, sweetener, gluten-free, vegan, protein. And then they have about 8 gram of fiber. So this is the kicker. If you just eat these two things like that, it's a snack of maybe we're looking at 250 calories to lose weight. Amazing snack. And it's gonna make sure that you feel full, right? Now, if you're a person that likes to eat more, you can have for 100 calorie all these things, right? All this like if you have no time, you take an apple with you. If you're a person need a lot of food, you take the strawberry with you and you can just munch a strawberry. That's much better than munching on nuts or stuff like that, right? And of course, the another point I want to make when you choose your snacks in 2024, you have to be really dumb if you're a person that like Coca-Cola and you take Coca-Cola. When you have the option to get Coca-Cola Light. If you like a Red Bull, like I'm gonna work out now and I need some energy, take the sugar-free Red Bull. Again, they're not paying me for this shit. It's like it's just logic. I just want to do you a favor. Like, why would you just take the same? And somebody says, oh, because this thing gives me cancer. Oh, this thing is dangerous. This thing has a lot of toxic stuff in there. Well, that version with that sugar in there is also have those same things, right? And of course, the ideal would be okay, I'm just not gonna drink Coca-Cola or Coke Zero, right? And I'm just gonna go from Coke, from 3 liter of Coke, of 3 liter of Coca-Cola to 3 liter of water. Let's see how much you last. Because I can tell you that psychology, all diets fail for psychological reasons. And psychology is important. And the problem and the first when you have to lose, let's say 30 kilos, you wanna go from sometimes regular Coke to diet Coke for a while. Then, of course, you can integrate the water, and then automatically you go to the water. Uh, the inflammation in your body is not for the Coke. The inflammation in your body is because of the extra fat and all the cytokine and all that crazy stuff I'm not gonna get into. What is the point I wanted to make? If nowadays you go to gas station and you find like bounties, right? The regular bounties. It's amazing tasting. It's like you really have tasting is like that. There are stuff that is called, I think, Actkin stuff that is called something else. It's like Bounty. So there is this version of Bounty now with high protein. So over here, instead of just, that's like, I think, 250 calories, it's a little bit more caloric than another one because of the fat. But you have 80 grams of protein in there. You have some fibers in there. So you always want to choose stuff that allows you to feel good, to be sustainable, right? And you'll be amazed. Now, going back to this, it's like if you have 1500 calories, you could, for example, do something like this, 300, 400, 400, 400, it's like 1200. Now you have about 1200 to, you have 500 calories to spare because if you get to 700, you already lose weight, but you have 500 to spare for the mistake that you might make. You know, you might forget to log one thing. You might forget that you're eating like that. So you don't have to log anything. It's just like you have 500 calories a day to spare to play with. What's gonna make you successful? Like at least that's a conversation I just had with a client last week. Is be able to choose 3, 4 breakfast, 3, 4 lunch, 3, 4 dinners that you actually like, that it's easy to cook, that you can meal prep it before, you can keep it there, you can make it on the spot. It's up to you. But one thing you wanna be taking the habits of doing habitual stuff. You don't want to just say, oh, it's boring. I want to cook every time different. Yeah, that's fine. But if you cannot see results, chances are you're missing something. And it's not about, this bar versus, the cookie. It's not about that. It's about you missing something big. And usually I can tell you, I said it multiple times. If you're healthy, you can gain weight by eating healthy and you can be super, not shredded, but like super toned, super good by eating crap. That's the reality of it. Meaning like, obviously not 3 kilos of ice cream, but like you can totally put a burger inside almost every day and be shredded. If you did 10, 15,000 steps a day, you work out a few times and you have maybe like the rest of the meals to be healthy. So this is important to understand. This is important to understand. If you want to participate in the study, comment down below beta test. I said it right now again. Don't come with the usual bullshit about I thought it was free. It's like it is free if you finish the course. Simple. It's like you put down a deposit of $200, you finish the whole thing, you give me a testimonial in the end, whether you're a client that you already got me one, or another one, or a person that you don't. It's not for me to do charity, it's for me to actually to allow you the ability for you to actually finally do the work and take interest on something that you're doing. Uh, if you complete the course on top of the testimonial, you're going to be given 1 month of coaching inside the app as well. And from there, chances are I'm going to give a transformation to you like that. You can make a choice. You understand that working with somebody is actually makes sense. We sit down and you might work with us or continue working with us, or otherwise you might go alone. You know, what we see usually is like that even people that are successful with us in the time frame of 3 to 6 months, when you don't have a coach, And again, I'm not saying you need to be in the top program. Also, the bottom plan is okay. If you're a action taker, you can totally be on our app for not a lot of commitment and still see results. But when you go from somebody actually change your life to, okay, I'm gonna go alone, and I see this all the time, in 3 to 6 months, people are coming back. Or they have to find something. Because why? Because there is a reason why you didn't do it before. There's a reason why you were not able to achieve and keep the results, or you achieve the results and you don't, or you lose it. Because life comes in the way, because you don't fucking know the difference between this bar and this bar, and you don't know how to apply, and you don't know if you see this and then somebody tells you, oh, that's bad, that's sugar, whatever. You don't know that, like, all that kind of stuff. This is why, and much like everybody else, I have my own coaches for my business, for email. I have a coach. Like, there's always something that you can learn faster. And I like to learn because I like to, save myself. I'm investing into myself, but I'm saving myself the aggravation. I'm saving time. I'm saving the fact that I don't make I have a shortcut to the result. I'm saving the fact that I don't have to make all the mistakes only to, you know, for all this stuff. So it's important to understand the concept. If you're interested, I'll be glad to have you. If you have the website already and you are a client, go and actually use it, because this is basically the degree of, I'm pretty positive. I don't know who consume what, but I can see how much you're consuming. I cannot see what page you're consuming. I'm pretty positive that nobody saw this page, pre-made meals today, and made that dot connection between saying, oh, I could actually use this for my situation because I'm busy. I could actually use that because of this. How can I use it? Okay, let's pretend this, and then how can I integrate my own stuff without having to come, right? Nobody actually made that connection. And sometimes we go on calls and I actually tell you, go and look at the module and make the connection. I don't know if you do it, but I can tell you that not a lot of people do it, simply because there is always this chase of new information. There is always this sexy thing that is going to come out that is going to tell you, by the way, you don't need to consume all this crazy stuff. You don't actually need to do the work. All you need to do is like keto or intermittent fasting or taking these supplements. Yeah, I'm here to tell you that unfortunately, if it was that cool, those people would be doing a lot better than they do, and they wouldn't have to convince you that that's the way to go. Coach Jerry here. Hopefully, you have a fantastic Saturday and Sunday, and I'm gonna talk to you soon. And if you like this setup, comment down below. Let me know. I like this. Do more of this. I'm gonna make one that you can actually come to. Okay? Coach Jerry here. Talk to you soon.